Hello, everyone. Happy October. Welcome back to Real Talk. I'm your host, Kelsey, here with Logan and Aaron. With the presidential election creeping up on us next month, the political talk and societal influence is only increasing. Over the years, we've seen more and more influence from our favorite and not so favorite celebrities. We've seen a lot of that already with the 2024 election, so let's get into that.
I know recently Taylor Swift endorsed Kamala Harris.
Yes, ma'am.
Which was met with a lot of both equally backlash and support from her fan base and other outside parties.
Yeah, before that happened, my mom and I had actually been talking like, this is the endorsement that we need because the Swifties are such a massive
Oh, they're coming. They're coming.
Like, I feel like having like one big fan base can really honestly turn the tide of an election, because she has a pretty mass following. So
Yeah.
I feel like having all that announced support really can make a difference for that side of the debate in the election. So
It was also so helpful that she showed people how to register to vote and included links. I didn't know how to register because this is my first year of voting, and because of her, I was like, oh, I can do this now, and
Yeah.
I was able to sign up.
Yeah. I mean, within I don't know what the time frame was actually, but after Taylor Swift endorsed Kamala Harris Falls, words, 300,000 people registered to vote, which is so crazy important. Yeah.
And I know in the previous election in 2020, Kanye West endorsed Donald Trump, but then eventually he decided to run for his own election
It's a fever dream.
with the slogan 2020 Vision.
I try to forget that happened.
Yeah, me too.
And on top of that, he didn't run for Republican, Democratic, or the Independent. He was running for the birthday party.
What?
I swear.
What was the goal?
I've never heard of that.
It's in the news. Look it up
Okay,
I can't
will
right
be
now.
Googling later.
after the show. Yeah,
What is the birthday party?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know. But he has my vote.
You're joking, right?
At least would have. Anyways, back to this election. Yeah, I feel like a lot of the big celebrities, I know there's some on Trump's side, but I don't know off the top of my head. I know a lot of rappers I've seen online. I think Lil Wayne's a pretty big supporter.
Elon Musk.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not a rapper.
No, he could be a rapper. It's fine.
But generally speaking, I think having all these big names really can help either side of the election to a really great extent. So
Yeah, I think Chappell Roan also casually said
She said who she was voting for.
yeah, she's like
Not quite an endorsement yet.
no, not an endorsement, but she was like, you're sure as fuck I'm voting for Kamala or something like that. I don't know. But is there anything you want to touch on, guys?
I just hate how some fan bases get tribalistic. Like if let's say one fan base all decides to rally behind one candidate, they just get into the most toxic just mode imaginable, and it kind of just makes things a lot more insufferable than they already are. And I feel like there should just be mutual respect for each side of the coin.
Exactly. Part of me worries about some celebrities endorsing people just because it's what if somebody votes just because their favorite celebrity did endorse them? I mean, I know personally I wouldn't do that,
Yeah.
but I'm sure there are people out there who would.
Yeah, I mean, not that in any universe it would ever happen, but if Harry Styles were to endorse Trump, I would not vote for Trump just because Harry is the love of my life. Oh my God, it feels so disgusting to say that.
It's okay.
You were so strong for that.
I gotta attend a grief support group now.
I'm pretty sure though when Taylor Swift announced her decision to back Kamala, I'm pretty sure she didn't say, hey guys, vote for her too. She just mentioned you
I'll
guys
be
should
voting
vote
for her.
and how to do so. So I think
Yeah.
while announcing what your stance is, but also keeping a neutral opinion, how to vote, where, when, all that stuff is a great image
Yeah.
to present yourself as.
Yeah, and she was kind of backed into a corner where she had to because of the fake AI that made it look like she was endorsing Trump.
Yeah.
I mean, if you wouldn't want that out there, I wouldn't want that out there for me.
No, yeah.
So she, I mean, and I really did respect that she's like, get educated, do your research. I like this policy. Find out what you care about.
Yeah. I think she also turned off comments on the official post where she was endorsing Kamala. So I think that's because her fan base is a mob and would just, everything would be going on in those comments. But I think it also is like, okay, yes, she's posting about it, but because there are no comments, like I can't scroll through and like find my opinion. Like it's kind of allowing them to build their own thoughts a little bit while having that push from her.
And like Elon, he's endorsed Trump, and he has a whole platform of Twitter, now known as X.
God, he's so far up
So
Trump's ass.
he has all that power in his hand, pretty much having it all on one platform, which is pretty impressive. So.
Yeah, I don't even have X anymore because it was just like too crazy. My mom was actually like, we don't support Elon Musk. I'm deleting it. And I was like, you know what? Me too. I never go on it anyway.
I had it for the bird. I like the little bird thing, and then now it's gone, so I'm done.
Yeah. I had it for keeping up with like Shawn Mendes when I had a fan account. And now there's Instagram that you can keep up with things on. So.
Yeah, I know Elon recently, we had the vice presidential debate. He was saying how now, according to the App Store, X or Twitter is the #1 news app in the world, which is kind of crazy. And he also wants to host elections on the platform itself instead of traditional channels like CNN and all that stuff.
Oh, honey,
so
no.
Yeah,
That's
imagine
great.
a debate all on Twitter.
I'd be so worried of that skewing like the debate.
Oh,
based on
God.
his bias.
Okay, that's a discussion for another day. Next, we're going to take it to Haley with her day trip in Philly.
What's up, everybody? My name is Haley, and today I'm going to take you on a quick trip to Philly. Philly is about 45 minutes from Delaware, so to get into Philly wasn't too bad at all. After our ride into Philly, we found some quick parking on the street and headed to our first sightseeing of the day. First, we ended up walking through a India festival that was happening right across from the Rocky Steps and the Philadelphia Museum of Art. So behind me is the Rocky Steps, which we're going to next, and you'll see a preview of me maybe running up them. We'll have to see. Here is the Philadelphia Museum of Art. The great thing about this museum is they actually have student discounts if you provide proof, and it's only $14. Next, something fun and free that everyone can partake in is running up the Rocky Steps. I only made it to the first ledge, but it was still really fun. Dad and my brother ended up making it all the way to the top, and at the top, you will see a lovely view. So up next, it's lunchtime. We're going to go to Pat's first and then Gino's second to see which Philly cheesesteak is better. Next up, we're eating at Gino's. So the main question everybody always asks is which one is better, Pat's or Gino's? And a special guest is here to help us answer that question. This is my brother Andrew.
What up, everyone?
So which one do you think is better?
Hats. I like hats.
Up next, we're going to be heading to Reading Terminal to get a nice sweet treat after those cheesesteaks. Reading Terminal is in the more touristy area of Philadelphia and is on Arch Street, and there are so many different foods and flavors to choose from. Reading Terminal is open from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. all 7 days of the week, and the great thing about it is there's not just one place, there's all different things between foods, desserts, sushi, barbecue, you name it, it's there. And not only is there food, but there's also gift shops and other things to choose from. So we just got finished shopping in Reading Terminal. I got a cookie. Andrew, what did you get?
I got ice cream.
Dad, what did you get?
Cupcake.
And we're gonna enjoy our treats now. Next, we headed to the more historical part of town, which was the Liberty Bell. And the great thing about the Liberty Bell is it is free and it's not a super long wait, so it's something easy and quick and fun to do in the city. Here is Independence Hall, which has a free park in the back for you to just sit and relax after a long day. Finally, we had Italian food for dinner as our last pit stop, and it was absolutely delicious. Everything was homemade. And that was a wrap on our day in Philly. Thank you so much for coming along with me, and hopefully you'll be able to go into Philly soon with your friends.
That was so great seeing Haley's adventures. Speaking of Haley, let's welcome her to the stage.
Hi guys.
I might have to take a trip to Philly this semester. Now we're going to bring it to a more serious topic. Today is October 3rd, which marks almost a year since the Hamas attacks on Israel. So let's talk about how that's impacted what we've seen on campus in the past year. So as a little refresher or introduction to what happened on October 7th, Hamas, which is an acronym for Islamic Resistance Movement in Arabic, broke out of Israel's security border walls surrounding Gaza and launched an attack on Israeli civilians and soldiers, killing approximately 1,200 people and taking around 240 hostages. Israel responded by launching an all-out war on the people of Gaza, killing more than 13,000 people as of this writing, whenever it was written. The attack resulted in around 1,200 deaths, mostly civilians, including families in their homes and attendees of a music festival. There were reports of sexual violence against some victims before they were killed, and it was the deadliest day for Jews since the Holocaust.
And then also, just recently, on October 1st in 2024, so like a couple of days ago, Iran released hundreds of missiles at Israel days before Rosh Hashanah, and today is actually the first day of Rosh Hashanah. And once again, sirens were heard across Israel, and people had to go into hiding. So as someone who is Jewish and goes to the University of Delaware for me, this has had a really big impact on my life, and especially being at college. My rabbi has taught me, unfortunately, to be prepared and to how to accept anti-Semitism and to be able to protect myself, which is horrible to say, but unfortunately that's just a reality that we live in, and that's what I've had to adapt to. I mean, Kelsey, you're Jewish, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know, how's your experience been?
I mean, I'm not really religious at all, so I don't partake in that aspect of it, but I've been trying to get more culturally connected. But I know when kind of the second round of protests, like Palestinian protests, were kind of happening on college campuses, my uncle actually texted my mom and was like, my uncle's a veteran, and he texted my mom like, is she safe? Is she okay?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's like, I don't know, it's just really crazy because it's a really fine line to walk.
Yes, I 100% agree with you. It is a very fine line. It's not just how we respond, but it's also how do we protect ourselves, and not just ourselves, but our community around us. And what about you, Logan?
I think it's a pretty messy situation overall because I feel like with most topics, it's a lose-lose argument. Like people either support Israel or Palestine.
Exactly.
And I feel like no matter what side you choose, someone's gonna have a disgusting counter argument to make about why this side's bad and the other side's bad. Like, and even just to explain how crazy things are getting. Last winter when I was in Budapest, we visited a lot of synagogues, and they had like a lot of like just police cars and all that stuff outside to guard the synagogues because I guess there was a rise of violence at the time.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy how things have gotten to this point where we all can't live together in peace.
Yeah, I mean, I was at Chabad last night for first night of Rosh Hashanah for dinner, and there was a police guard. There was someone outside. There was a police officer. There was a guard. Ever since I've been at Temple for my entire life, there's never a time where I can't remember where there has been a police officer, especially at the high holy days. There's at least 3 because it's all of us meeting together in one place, and it's just not safe no matter where you are. But going back to what you were saying before about some misconceptions, you know, like people think about things in a certain light, in a certain way, and that sometimes is not always the case. But Kelsey, what do you think about some of the misconceptions? Because there's a lot of them.
Yeah. Well, one of the biggest things I think is that some people don't understand that the actions of the Israeli government aren't the actions of like the Israeli people and just Judaism as a whole. because like there's Jewish people everywhere. You know, it's not
Yeah.
just in Israel. I know, like a couple months ago, I had reposted something about anti-Semitism statistics, and this one person like slid up on my story and was like, I have to unfollow you for your like avid support of a genocide.
Really?
And first of all, like you really tried there. Like how
Yeah.
is like standing up for anti-Semitism isn't in support of like
Yeah.
killing people. That's not what it is.
Yeah.
And so many people can't get that through their head, and
Yeah.
it's so frustrating.
And I feel like a lot of people, especially in our age range, they kind of base their claims off of what they see in the news.
Yeah.
And not actually every news outlet has some sort of bias.
I agree with that,
Whether,
yes,
it's,
very
whether
much
it's
so.
extreme or if it's slight, and I feel like we never get the right information out. And
Yeah.
again, none of us are there seeing things happen live in person. So I feel like it's all just a bunch of misunderstandings. There's
Yeah.
probably some truth to certain points people make, but overall, I feel like there's just lack of an actual understanding.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally too, especially like on UD's campus, like I remember this time last year, they were putting up Israeli flags on the green, and people were either A, removing the flags, or actually my friend experienced like a real life, like, not, I wouldn't say like specific like a hate crime, but it was like a heckle. Like she was being heckled for putting the Israeli flags on the ground, and she came up to me after and was like, have you ever experienced this? And I was like, unfortunately, yes, like I have experienced this, not just at UD, but at home. I went through Hebrew school at home, and we were in DC, and something kind of similar happened. I was getting on the bus to go somewhere, and there was like a pro-gun, hate Jew rally, and my rabbi like turned to us and was like, this is real life, like tuck in your badges, tuck in your stars, like we're getting on the bus, like we need to like leave like now. So it was just, and I was 16, like I was a sophomore in high school. It was just very real that we don't live in this little protective bubble, that there's a real world out there, and there are people who don't like certain people, and it's really sad that we live in that reality.
Yeah. I mean, there are people who, you know, Jewish students who experience instances of anti-Semitism, and especially in the past year, haven't spoken about it or haven't felt like they could because they felt like they would
Yeah.
receive backlash.
But the good news is there are resources here
Yeah.
for you. There's Chabad, which I was at last night. There's also Hallel, Blue Hens for Israel, Challah for Hunger, and just like Jewish community all around us. And it's nice too because you don't have to be Jewish to go to these things. It's kind of a community for everyone to be a part of. And it's nice to have these resources, especially when everything is happening.
I just feel like the bottom line is we all should feel safe in a college environment because,
No matter who you are,
like we all worked hard to get to college, and it's a shame that some people's college experiences are ruined because of people who can't respect
Yeah.
their own views and stuff. So
Yeah.
I think the fact that people can't even feel safe in this environment really kind of is unfortunate, especially nowadays.
Yeah, I agree. There's just so many things happening, and it's not even just specifically like this. Like well, for me personally, like I've just dealt with it, and you know, it's a sad reality, but it's something that I'm learning to deal with every day, and hopefully soon it will all get better. So, yeah.
A sweeter year, right?
Yeah, Happy New Year, so hopefully a sweeter year for that.
Okay. While the conflict could not possibly be summed up in a 7-minute segment, we do have to keep the show moving. Today, October 3rd, is also Mean Girls Day, from an iconic quote from the movie. So let's take it to me on the street, seeing who can finish the iconic Mean Girls quotes.
Let's take Regina for 400.
Okay. Okay. Gretchen, stop trying to make blank happen. It's not gonna happen.
Gretchen, stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not gonna happen.
Gretchen, stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not going to happen. I love that one.
That is the answer.
Is it? Oh, let's go.
Fetch happen. It's not going to happen.
There you go, girl.
That was so fast.
Get in, Lucy.
loser, we're going shopping. Woo!
Oh, even I knew that.
Get it, loser, we're going shopping.
Yeah.
On Wednesdays, we wear pink. Yeah! That's awesome.
On Wednesdays, we wear thongs.
Go, stop me. Pink. Hey,
Is it pink?
I'm a blank duh.
A mouse. Duh. Oh my God, Karen, you can't just ask people why they're. Hold on.
Oh my God,
You can't just ask people why they're
Infertile.
late.
Oh, fuck.
Halloween is the one time of year a girl can dress like a
Fucking
fucking
slut.
and no other girl can say anything about it.
Halloween is like the one time of the year where a girl can dress like a total slut and no other girl can say anything about it. I got that.
Yeah,
This was amazing. Slay, A+.
You want to go to Taco Bell? Taco Bell! No, all of them. Wait, was no carb diet. You're so stupid. God, Karen, you're so stupid.
I can't go to Taco Bell. I'm on a diet, Karen. God, you're so stupid.
You want to go to Taco Bell?
It's not my fault you're like in love with me or something.
Yeah, it's not
The ugliest fucking skirt I've ever seen.
That is the ugliest effing sweater I've ever seen.
What?
October 3rd.
On October 3rd, he asked me what day it was.
It was October 3rd.
There you go.
Taylor Zimmerman, 2 for you. Glen Coco, 4 for you, Glen Coco. You go, Glen Coco.
Okay, that was entertaining to say the least. I guess on Wednesdays we wear thongs now. Welcome back, Aaron. Now, kind of related to our first conversation, we're going to talk about fame and fan culture and how it can lead to toxic environments and behavior. So,
Off the top of my head, James Corden.
okay.
Fuck him. I've heard.
Can you elaborate?
I've heard allegations about him being mean and rude to fans, whether it's at restaurants and stuff like that. I get it; it's his own personal space, and he's probably with his family or loved ones or whatever. But from things that I've seen, just the way he goes about things and those environments are kind of fucked up.
Yeah, I've actually heard that that's why the show isn't on anymore, because he was just kind of a dick to everyone that came on it behind the scenes.
And he's not funny either. But, you know.
That also kind of brings up an interesting situation because, like, obviously celebrities have the right to say no and, like, you know, if they don't want to talk to somebody, but also, like, there's also nice ways to do it. Instead of being like, oh, F off, you can be like, no, I'm sorry, I'm busy right now. Have a good night.
And there was also one example. This was like years ago. It was a pretty like infamous clip of there was TMZ outside of Kanye West's house, and it was like 3 or 4 in the morning, and he was like cussing them out. And I get it because like they're on your property,
Yeah.
and it's 3 or 4 in the morning.
I would have done the same thing.
Yeah, and I think sometimes the paparazzi, TMZ, and the fans can really get these celebrities in their bad moods because they're being overwhelmed with all this attention, all that stuff. It's probably hard to manage and deal with.
We also see what the media wants us to see. We don't see the whole representation of a person. We see their bad and good moments. But the most recent example of this is with Chappell Rowan. So recently at the VMAs? AMAs?
VMAs.
At the VMAs, she was on the red carpet and there was a paparazzi being like, yo, Chappell, like, fucking look at the camera. And then she was like, don't fucking talk to me. You're not talking to me like that. And like, honestly, mad respect for her.
No, I mean, like, why do we need the paparazzi necessarily? Like, can't we just have, like, photographers or something? Like, and plus, we have social media. They're posting all the time. Like, a lot of celebrities are filming themselves on TikToks and Instagram and various things like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know why we need to, like, have people chasing them constantly.
Yeah, and not even just the paparazzi chasing them, but so many of these fandoms have become crazy. The parasocial relationships that they think they have is just really toxic sometimes. Like also with Chappell Rowan, someone like was grabbing her arm or something like that, I think.
Like, and then like just reaching out to touch people.
Yeah.
The phone throwing thing, I don't know what that was about. Because I remember there was a period of time where like at concerts, celebrities were getting like phones thrown at them.
I don't remember that. Like to take a selfie on their phone or something?
I don't know what the goal was. Like they were getting hit with stuff. Like I saw a video where like Olivia Rodrigo was like dodging something.
Yeah, I know people will throw like their bras on stage and or just like things in general, but I didn't know phone throwing was a situation.
No, and then you lose your phone.
Yeah, there was one time, I think it was at one of the Rolling Loud shows, where they had a rapper named Kid Cudi as one of the like headlining acts, and he wasn't supposed to be there originally because someone else pulled out, and the fans, they wanted the previous act there, not him, so they threw like water bottles at him, which, the caps, they hurt, they're pretty dangerous, and he got pretty pissed off. I think he might have canceled the rest of his set. So, these crazy, whether they're fans of his or other people's fans that, are going to attack him, I get why he would have been angry if he's being assaulted with a water bottle, so.
Yeah, because from a distance, that's like a rock.
It's very dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, not only, like the fans, like they were kind of like just canceling him or?
Yeah, because they weren't who they wanted him to be. They wanted it to be some other artist, and since he wasn't there, they paid to see someone else. And since that person wasn't there, they were like, who the fuck's this guy?
Yeah. I mean, I understand being disappointed, but, celebrities are people too. They need to take care of themselves just as much as we do, if not more, because they're constantly in the spotlight, as I'm in the spotlight.
And they have to like protect, like for like singers and stuff, they have to protect their voices too. You don't want them going on when they have a cold and then they're not hitting like any notes.
Yeah. Or like laryngitis and just singing through it, it'll just make it worse. Like,
you want them to get healthy.
We don't want a Celine Dion situation.
No.
But as for fan bases, I feel like the most, I wouldn't say toxic, I'm going to say toxic. The most toxic and involved fan base is probably the Swifties.
Oh, they're going to come for you now, though.
Yeah. Like, if I make one remark about Taylor, I'm going to be off the show. They're going to email.
No, literally.
They're going to email STN, and they're going to be like, take this guy out the show.
Someone who doesn't even go here is going to find it.
No, like, she doesn't even go here.
Someone said something bad about Taylor Swift.
But just in case, see you guys later. You never know. But I feel like having just that really close bond with a celebrity you don't even know personally is kind of unhealthy in a way.
Yeah.
But it's good to support someone, but also, there's boundaries to be had. So.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I joke around with like everyone saying, "Oh yeah, Harry Styles is my husband from 14 years," I'm not like, if I were to meet him, I wouldn't be like grabbing him and being like, "Oh my God, what are we?"
No.
Like I get scared sometimes because like a lot of artists, they'll like do crowd surfing at their concerts. It takes one crazy fan to pull them down and just not let them go ever.
So dangerous.
And like rip their clothes off too. Like that's another direction it could go in.
Or bite them or something.
That's why I feel like less people are doing meet and greets from what I've heard of, like because it's just so dangerous. Like you don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, and if they are doing meet and greets, it's like very
Well, security is right there, like side by side by concerts. It's a whole big old stage. People can run up on the stage all they want. They can dodge security, but I feel like, it's kind of how it is. People are crazy.
Yeah, sometimes. Yep. Again with Chapel Rowan, she was supposed to perform at a festival, All Things Go, but she canceled within 24 hours due to her mental health. She's been greatly struggling with depression. But I just hope her and everyone else get the support they need. I hope all these celebrities know that their decisions to prioritize their health are supported and valid. Nobody, no matter their status, deserves to feel like they have a claw down their throat. I can't imagine that. But that's all the time we have tonight. Thanks for watching. Until our next talk on October 17th, keep it real out there, Newark. Bye.